Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World and the Black Business School, and I wanted to talk about something real quick that I just read. I just read that 70% of all prison inmates that were tested for the virus have it. According to Time Magazine, they tested 2,700 inmates. 2,000 of them were infected, and a lot of them are dying, and their loved ones are being kept in the dark. This speaks to the challenge of all of this in terms of what's going on in the country, and not just keeping people safe, but also human rights violations that are occurring within our prison system. When you think about this, I stick to the point that I think that we need to get away from sort of seeing that virus as a death sentence. The studies just show don't uphold that. It's about maybe a 5% chance of death, and actually probably maybe 1%, less than 1% chance if you're under the age of 60. So it doesn't mean a death sentence, but it is something that should be monitored and checked. Now, the problem that I have for sure is the fact that we know prisons are going to be a place where any virus is going to spread more rapidly. We also know that it's a place where human rights violations occur on a regular basis. They get away with these human rights violations because the prisons are filled with black people. Well, one of the things I would like to see actually is for us to examine just what this does to black communities, in terms of not just the health crisis, but also the family, the crisis of family breakups. Now, if you recall, the Democrats spent a lot of time talking about illegal immigrant families being broken up when they were coming across the border, and that became a big issue. But never once have I heard anybody really talk about all the black families that were broken up by the Clinton-Biden crime bills in the 1990s, where they were calling us super predators and locking people up on long-term charges. In fact, one story I read here in Time Magazine, because the media likes to tell stories. Well, the first story they told was about a brother who died on a ventilator after catching the virus, and he was in there on a 20-year drug conspiracy charge. Now, if you know conspiracy charges, the RICO charges, three strikes laws, things like that, those draconian measures they took in the 1990s are what caused a lot of black men to get really long prison sentences. So chances are this guy has redeemed himself. Chances are he's a different person. He's definitely much older than he was back then. So why is he still in prison 20-something years later when he's a regular, normal human being like the rest of us? He just, he chose to feed his family in a way that wasn't legally sanctioned, even though we have a lot of legalized drug dealers, that are selling OxyContin and oxycodone and all this other stuff that are killing far more people than the illegal drug trade ever did. So I think that if you want my 2 cents on it, the election's coming up, the Democrats are going to be begging for your vote. I've told them I'm not voting for anybody, Democrat or Republican, but if you choose to vote, I encourage you to demand something for your vote. And one important thing that could be demanded is a clear accounting of all of the people that have been in these long prison sentences due to drug conspiracy and, in a lot of, nonviolent crimes and sometimes even violent crimes. I mean, if you do something at 18, why are you being held? Why are you being forced to pay for it when you're 50, 60 years old? It doesn't make any damn sense. So I personally think that we need to force any political party you support to literally put forth maybe a $50 billion package. We just wrote a check for $2-3 trillion. They could put forth $50 billion to re-examine the entire prison system to, number one, guarantee better human rights for prison inmates, because going to prison should not mean that you are being treated like an animal, and that's what they're doing. Number two, re-examine all those cases, go through every single one of them and say, this case is, this sentence was 100 years, maybe it should have been 20. This person's got 30 years, maybe they should have got 5, and start letting people out, let them get back with their families. I don't understand. I do not understand. I will never understand why we can have so much sympathy for families that are coming across the border, and you can't have sympathy for black families right here in this country. You expect me to support you, and you can't even put black people anywhere near the front of the line. You put us at the back of the line. Well, I'm sorry. I believe in equality and reciprocity, which means that if you put me at the back of the line, I'm putting you at the back of the line. And when I put you at the back of the line, you ain't getting my damn vote. That's my 2 cents. That's what I believe. You don't have to believe the same thing, but I'm going to stick with that. All right, I'm out of here, guys. Have a good day. Make sure you hit the thumbs up, share, subscribe button. I will talk to you soon. I'll check back in a little bit later on in the day. I'll see you later. Have a good day. Peace.